Hey, what's up guys? It's Textumer talking to you here. And in today's video, I want to talk about the iPhone 15, show you new concept art made by the Apple Track channel, and of course, share with you the newest features and leaks that have come out in the last couple of days. So, yes, this concept art made and shared by Apple Track is incredible. Go to his channel, Sam Cole is the owner, he's an incredible YouTuber, shares incredible videos. This video will rely a ton on his concept art, so Sam, your videos are really cool. Go check him out. I think he deserves it. But in today's video, I will talk about the newest leaks, features that have come out in the last couple of days. So if you are interested, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this. I cannot wait for the iPhone 15 to come out. And with this rumor that I'm about to show you with this today, oh my god, I'm so excited. So, no further ado, let's get started. So, as you know, the iPhone 15 will have a new design, and Apple Track shared these new concepts that are incredible. These concepts are made specifically with the most recent leaks in mind, and I think he did an amazing job. I think he hired some 3D renderers. I think he did not do it by himself, but still, go check him out, go check his channel out. In the last video about the iPhone 15, the credits go to his 3D render. Of course, these renders and concept arts are incredible, and I cannot tell you guys how well these were made, because they look so real, and of course they look really good. I think that the iPhone 15 will look better than we are thinking. Of course, this new design is just like we were predicting. This is going to be a little bit smoother on the back edges, but still very flat, like the iPhone 14s, 13s were. So yes, the iPhone 15 will have a major redesign, but not as big as we were thinking. Apple will still continue on this flat edge trend, but smooth it out a bit, and of course, make it better. It's just refinement on top of refinement. Of course, iPhone 15 leaks couldn't be complete without USB-C talk, and of course, what better than talking about USB-C than the EU? The EU has warned Apple over, of course, these new leaks that Apple is going to turn down cables that are not made for MFI program. So, according to leaks, Apple is going to make the MFI cables work better than non-MFI cables. What do I mean by this? Well, pretty simple. If you buy a USB-C cable that is not MFI certified, so the owner of that company that made the cable did not pay Apple a fee, then Apple will turn down those cables in terms of performance. So every single device that has this made for iPhone certificate, they pay a fee to Apple. Apple makes money on it, and they certify this product as well made and it's safe for use with the iPhone. This is good for when you're going to buy a cable. You know that cable is not going to fry your phone. But according to you, this should not be the case. Apple should not make their USB-C iPhone like this. They should not restrict the USB-C cable just because they are not made for iPhone. According to the EU, the cables should be all the same. You should be able to use all of the cables. Do I agree with this? No. Because, as you know, if you're going to a store and a gas station and you buy these janky cables that you put on your iPhone and they fry them out, they are not made for iPhone, but you don't know, then you're going to be, why? Why does this happen? Well, if you had the MFI program, that a cable, you know you cannot buy it because it's not made for iPhone. Apple has probably not certified it, and it may be good, but you may also be working with some bad cable. And so this MFI program, although it's a bit more expensive to manufacturers, just ensures that that cable is safe. Apple has tested, and I can use it. Even though this is kind of annoying for the EU because the EU wants a unified cable, I think they should be more open to new ideas, and I think this MFI program is a good thing. Either Apple does that or the EU has to do it. Someone has to certify these cables, because if not, manufacturers from China, India, these places where they make these cables very cheap, will janker and tamper with the cables in order to make them cheaper, but then you have a spike in volts and you fry your iPhone. So I think that this is necessary for Apple. What I don't agree is Apple making the other cables that are not MFI certified, like throw them down. That's one thing that I don't agree with Apple. If they are not certified by MFI, don't make them work. They do not work, and do not sell them. This should be like a good cable, bad cable. The good cable sells, the bad cable goes to the trash. They should not be like selling non-MFI cables. And the EU, if they want Apple to make this money, they should make a EU certificate. Not Apple, make yourself your money. I don't care, but someone needs to certify the cables, not just for Apple, but for everyone else. And if no one is going to do it, then Apple needs to do it. And that's why I agree with the stance of Apple. But this is a dangerous place for Apple to be because the EU is going to tie them down. According to the leaks, the EU has responded to Apple saying, do not even think about that, just focus on making an iPhone with USB-C. Do I agree with you? Well, 50%. I want a USB-C iPhone, yes, but I don't want this controlling government over my head. So you gotta weigh things out. In my opinion, Apple is going to make a USB-C iPhone, but they're going to make it with some restrictions. This MFI one will be one of them. Now, let's talk about the cameras. According to Minchi Kuo, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is going to get new cameras. Finally, we are getting a Periscope lens on the iPhone, and I couldn't be more excited. Finally. According to Minchi Kuo, we are getting a 5 to 6x Periscope lens on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Yes, it's going to be exclusive on the iPhone Pro Max because I think of the size of the phone makes a difference. I wish Apple would release it on the iPhone 15 Pro, but just like they did on the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, they are putting the better sensors on the bigger phone because they have more space to do so. This Periscope lens is going to be insane. I love Periscope lenses. I love the big lenses, the big 100 to 120 millimeter lenses because I love the shots that they take. You can see here some of the shots that I took with my 3x telephoto on my iPhone 14 Pro Max, 77 millimeter. They look really cool. I love the way they look. They look apart, in my opinion. I also love the 0.5, the ultra-wide camera, and also love the main camera and the 2x. But I don't think it makes too much sense to have an ultra-wide, so the 0.5, and then the main camera, the 1x, and then the crop on the main sensor, the 48 megapixel sensor, and then have the 2x, which is this crop, and then have the 3x telephoto. Just like on the iPhone 14 Pro Max review, I actually predicted that Apple will remove this 3x telephoto and put it on its place a Periscope lens, about double the zoom capabilities, just like Minchiko was talking about now, 6x, because I thought that 2x and 3x were really close to each other and did not make any sense to have this crop on the main sensor, the 2x, which is actually really good. It's a crop on a 48 megapixel sensor, so it's a 12 megapixel shot, really good, more than enough. And then you have, of course, the 3x or Periscope lens, a separate camera for just a little bit more zoom. Does not make any sense. But now, if Apple is going to put a Periscope lens, starts making more sense. I'm enjoying this so much. I wish I could have my iPhone 15 Pro Max now. If you're asking yourself if I'm going to buy this iPhone 15 Pro Max just because of the Periscope lens, well, I will. I love the Periscope lens and I cannot wait to have it. I wish Apple would put a 10x telephoto there, not just a 5 to 6x, because I've used the Samsung S22 Ultra with the 10x telephoto camera, so the Periscope lens, and it was incredible. This was one of my favorite features from an Android phone, even better than my iPhone in my opinion. And that's why I think they should have like a 10x telephoto. But I understand why they have to put a 5 to 6x, because at the end of the day, like 10x, it's too much for some cases, and then you don't have that middle ground. So a jump from 2x to 10x, you don't have that middle ground between the 2 and 10. So it makes sense they are heading a 2, then a 5 to 6, and maybe in the future they'll put a 10x. I don't know. I'm not sure. When they put a bigger megapixel count so they can zoom 2, 4, and then 8, and then 10. Let's see what happens. I'm really excited for this Periscope lens. Then, I'm not going to just focus on the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. No, I want to talk about the iPhone 15s also. The normal iPhones. These are going to feature new changes that you are probably not thinking. They are still going to feature the same design as the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. And also, they are still going to feature the new dynamic island screen design. So, yes, like I was talking about, this iPhone is going to have new changes. For example, the camera, I think it will be the cameras from the iPhone 14. This has not been leaked, but I think they will keep the same cameras as the iPhone 14 Pro. And I'm not sure if you are getting the 48 megapixel or not, but I would bet that in the future, in the next 1 to 2 years, they will. I think Apple wants to have just a 48 megapixel because they always have the same main sensor as the Pro models on the year after they come out. So it makes sense that this year they will probably have the main sensor from the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'm not sure, but that's something that may happen. Then, of course, there's the fact that this iPhone 15 and 15 Plus will have the new body design as the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, so the back edges will be smoother out. Then, of course, is the screen. The screen will have tinier bezels, and it will feature Dynamic Island. The Dynamic Island will be the new feature and the headline feature for the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. Of course, these models will now enjoy of the amazing Dynamic Island. Dynamic Island was one of my favorite features for the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, and now, if the Apple is going to add the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus with Dynamic Island, finally, you will be able to enjoy it. This is a great feature, and of course I think in the future it will be more useful. Now it's just a glorified task manager, but I think the future could be much, much more. I think it was a genius idea from the one person that did it, and I think, in my opinion, it will be the future of smartphones. But let me know in the comments below what you think about Dynamic Island coming to the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. This year, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus should get the A16 chip, just like last year the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus got the A15. So I think Apple now wants to roll with last year's chip on the base model iPhone. That makes sense, while the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will get the 3nm A17 chip. So excited for that, more efficiency gains, more gains in terms of performance, all of these in a more efficient package that should spend a lot less energy and have a lot better battery life. Of course, Apple can make the iPhone thicker and have an insane battery, like 2-day battery life, or they could make the iPhone thinner. I'm not sure what they will do, but if you ask me, am I excited? Yes, I'm very, very excited. Then, to finish off the leaks for today, I want to talk about the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max models that have came out of China. Yes, if you don't know, Unbox Therapy got in his hands a dummy for the iPhone 15, and here you can see very well the screen and the size of the bezels on this screen. They are extremely small, and I think they look pretty cool. I think this iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are going to look insane. And if the iPhone 15 Plus and 15 are going to look like this from the front, then also they're going to be pretty cool, and I think they will sell pretty well. Although the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max sold like hotcakes, I think that the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, because they are a bigger jump to the iPhone 14 than the iPhone 14 was to the iPhone 13, I think they are going to sell even better. Let's see if I'm wrong or correct, but in this video you can see that the iPhone 15 dummies look really good. You can see the new design, the new size of the camera bump, the size of the screen, the size of the bezels on the screen, and of course you can see USB-C. I think this is going to be a game changer for the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. A screen bezel reduction is always incredible, but because imagine this, you look at your iPhone every single day, and you look at your screen every time you look at your iPhone probably, and like make a change on your screen. It's one of the biggest changes they can make, because you are looking at it 100% or 90% of the time you are holding your phone. So if you are doing so, then you will notice the most changes when they happen on the screen, because you will be looking at it every single second of the time you are using your phone. So it makes some changes, even if they are small. Psychologically, I think they make tons of difference, and Apple knows that, and that's why they are doing this. But I think that the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will be more than just a bezel reduction on the screen. This screen will be brighter probably, and it will be better dynamic range, in my opinion. Of course, these screens are always top of the notch, and it's Samsung that makes them, so you can always expect they have tons of quality. In my opinion, they probably won't be better than the Samsung S24 Ultra, whatever that comes out, but they are different. Very bright, very color accurate, and they are neutral in terms of colors. Normally Samsung likes to make the screens very vivid, very contrasty, while Apple likes to make them neutral and very, very color accurate. But in my opinion, the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, like I told you, will be more than just the screen, the cameras, USB-C, the new design. All of these will make the iPhone 15, in my opinion, one of the biggest upgrades of the last few years. But let me know in the comments below what you think. In my opinion, the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will sell like hotcakes, and the rumors are saying that it's going to be a price jump this year. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but if Apple is going to do that, you can bet that they will cut out the 128GB model and they will start selling the 256. But I don't see Apple doing it, because I think Apple likes this $1,000 and $1,100 price, because I think they have got it for like 5 years now, since the iPhone 10. Works pretty well. They are selling tons of phones, and they know they can make tons of money with it. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Which iPhone will you get? 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, or of course the iPhone 15 Pro Max, the biggest and the baddest. Let me know in the comments below what you think. While you're there, don't forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, follow my social networks, Twitter and Instagram. This has been Tech Summer talking to you here. Bye bye.